Is it recording right now? Might already be.
Oh, it's totally recording. See?
On this episode, no.
On this episode, we are back at it. We are giving Wesley's G37 convertible a much needed facelift. He has bought some sweet sequential headlights, a really cool grill, and one of those third brake light deals. And while we've got the bumper off, we're going to do a fresh paint job on the bumper. I'm going to let Wes take over and give you the full explanation of these parts because he done a deep dive and he knows a lot more than I do. So Wesley, here, tell the peoples.
All right, so a little breakdown of what we got here. We got some Spec-D tuning, sequential headlights. If you stand in the box though, they slides out like a dream. He'd rather do it the hard way.
What do you mean
Here.
stand the box?
Here, take the camera.
This?
Yeah. Do that.
Shame I cut your head off on that picture. Sorry, buddy. This is why I'm not the camera guy. Yeah. Now that, I will say, is gorgeous. What's that little?
We won't talk about that.
To get covered up. Full facelift. Some very. How long have you had these?
Those work for the Z. That should
Oh
tell you.
my God!
I never
Does
got-
it
I
does it
never
have an
installed.
expiration date, my guy?
They've never been used, so technically they're new, I guess.
The headlights, you're going to have to pull the front bumper off. If there is anything in this whole process of taking the front bumper off that we feel is warranted us covering, we'll stop the time lapse, show you the nifty little part, and then proceed. But at this point, if you've made it this far, you're following us, I'm pretty sure you're mechanically inclined enough to take the front bumper off your car. If not, the headlight company sent instructions. So you got this. I believe in you. Right now, I am YouTube mechanic certifying you. All right, so the first thing we're going to start with is the, I would say third brake light, but the fourth brake light, the racing rain light. Now this light can be wired where it goes straight to a solid red light for like your brake light or your running light, or it can do a blinky strobe light, which in our state is illegal. So we're just going to make it the solid work with the brake light as a fourth brake light. Now, how most people would mount these would just be to the bumper somewhere, like for a race car application. But Wesley here, because he's a bit of an overachiever, made this nifty little Reese hitch mount and did a whole custom, let's get down under here, woo, a whole custom Reese hitch mounting apparatus to the bottom of his car. So with that being said, Wesley filmed that in his shop. So Wesley, roll that footage. Okay, so the wiring is pretty simple. You've got the gray wire, which is the standard, like just red light, or the black wire, which goes all stroby blinky. We're not using a black wire, and you have the ground loom. So we're going to ground this and run this gray wire into our brake light wire somewhere. We're going to pull the rear panel off and see where's the best place that we can tap into that wire without damaging the wire and making it subject to the elements. Yay! But it comes back there where all the tail lights and the amp and all that good stuff is. But the main thing is just to get the wire through into the car with a way that's not going to damage the wire via raw metal edge cutting it. So we ran the wire through the actual rubber grommet that's going into the trunk of the car, where the actual wiring from underneath the car, I believe it's the license plate light wire going in. Underneath the bumper right here, we just kind of popped a little hole in that rubber grommet and slid 2 red and a black wire through. One's going to be a ground, one's going to be the light. We're going to pigtail it into the tail lights and just plug it in and hook it into the resitch. It's actually a pretty straightforward install. Now we got to find out which wire from our tail lights is the brake light wire. So you can do this with a test light. I love my power probe. I highly suggest you guys get a power probe. They're great. Now I got Wesley inside the car. Press the brakes, Wesley. All right. So now what we're going to do is take our test light or power probe and jam it down in here and figure out which one has power when the brake lights are on. And that's the wire we'll splice into. I have a suspicion it's that one. It's not. Okay, is it that one? Nope. Is it? And this is what we're going to splice our red wire into. Let's see here. I'm going to cram. Alright, and then we close it. There you go. To this little bolt right here. There is one down there, but it's got a bunch of grounds on it. It's going to be kind of a pain to get to when we can just get right to this ground. So this is where we're going to ground it at. And now you just come underneath the back of the car where the little red and black wire are hanging down. You connect the red wire, which has gone to your tail light, to the gray wire so that it is a constant light when you hit your brakes and not a strobe. And then you connect the outer sheathing ground to the black wire, which is grounded to the chassis. Let's see the finished product after Wesley gets finished putting it in. Wesley, hit the brakes. All right. Super bright. So now it's time to move on to the headlights and the front bumper. And with that, I'm going to tell you to refer to your directions. And for all those people that don't have directions, just wanting to watch the video, sit back and enjoy a little time-lapse cinematic beauty or glory. What would that be? Sit back and enjoy the show. Now once you get your bumper off, you're going to have a 10mm bolt that goes straight in at this corner. You'll see it when you pull the bumper. And then you have one right here, the top one. Peel them back, and there is a bolt right there. And you got to take this one out. There is a cable, which is your hood latch cable. There's a little clip connected onto the tail back of the headlight. Make sure you pull that off. And there's right back here.
If he breaks it, I got it on video. Oh God, he broke a nail!
No! Get it. There it goes. Yeah!
Chuck it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't.
There's the old lights. Now you will have to add your factory bulbs and ballasts to this. It does come with these running lights, but they're super yellow, so you might want to look into getting yourself, what are they, H7?
Yeah, H7 bulbs.
H7 bulbs, either the xenon white or LED. Preferably LED, it's going to look off and funny. Now it's time to install our sweet aftermarket grill. Wesley, show them the grill. It's a fiberglass one, so you kind of got to drill your own mounting points in it. But first things first, undo your 10mm and take a small screwdriver and pop the little tongue clip off and push out the factory grill. Now you're going to have to cut this center section out of the bumper just so you don't see that big bar in the middle of your very clean open grill. We're going to use the straight edge cutter. You can use whatever you want.